Graham Center, for those of us that know him in the room, is a pretty casual guy. You know, doesn't always sit in the chair in the corner. He's wearing a hat right now. This is the guy that he is, right? Waltz is in here last year with 3 qualifiers, you know, runs out of here with 3 national champions. You got a couple of those guys coming back this year. What can we expect, what kind of surprises can we expect from the Grizzlies this year?
I have no idea what to expect because I didn't expect what happened last year.
Well, we know that.
That was something, so then everybody was like, hey, that's great. It's like, it doesn't go like that. You know, somebody's dreams get shattered. And that was a good one, but it carried a lot of momentum. The guys carried over. We brought 2 of the 3 were back, which was great for just that atmosphere. The guys have been good leaders with that. Something to build upon. Picked up another couple guys from there, but they were able just to insert right with these 3 or with those 2 and just keep building off of that. It's really provided a good atmosphere, and I mean, it's been a year, but the momentum still feels like it's there.
And Pete Krim, Upper Iowa, our host coach for this weekend. What does it mean to you and your program to host here? This is a terrific venue for our championship. I think all the coaches up here would agree with that. You know, we've got a beautiful arena. We've got great warm-up space. We've got a hotel that's connected to the venue. We're providing an absolute top-notch experience for our student athletes here. What does it mean to you and your program to be able to provide that experience, to be able to be the hosts and, you know, bring this community together here in Iowa?
It means everything. Just lots of thoughts ran through my head there when I first started coaching. I wanted to win to validate. I've been doing this, you know, since I was 27. I'm 50 years old now. I feel like I'm a servant. I'm servicing an area in the state, giving kids opportunities to compete. This institution of Upper Iowa, I'm at it because they love wrestling. They're loyal to the sport. They want to put on a great show. They want to give every one of these coaches, athletes, a great experience for a lifetime. So it just means everything. It's nice on the recruiting front when you can say every 4 or 5 years you're going to host the national championship on your home soil and you get a chance to wrestle for an NCAA championship. So to have 4 of those kids, 3 of those guys from the state of Iowa getting to do that and live out that dream, you know, couldn't be more excited and grateful for our athletic men and everyone to run this back again like we did in 2018.
Appreciate that. Do we have any questions for our coaches up here?
For all of you coaches, you guys all have very successful programs. You're looking for national titles, team trophies this year. The week or 2 weeks leading up to it after regionals and stuff with your team, how do you guys approach your team? Do you guys talk about, like, is it something that's talked about amongst each other that you guys are looking for team trophies or team titles or anything, or is it like something that's left unsaid and the team kind of just goes about their business? You worry about winning your matches at nationals. How do you guys approach that as a head coach with really, you know, strong teams?
I'll take that one. I think it's always there. I mean, there's not really much of an emphasis, at least in our program, that we're talking about it on a daily basis or things like that. Comes down to it, wrestling's an individual sport, right? So if the guys compete at their highest abilities on our team, the team race will take care of itself. So I don't really like putting any much more pressure on our guys than needed. You know, they got enough pressure on themselves, just focusing on what they have to do and not really need to focus on the team race. But yeah.
We were pretty clear and intentional with our guys. Literally the Monday after the national tournament last year, what went on the board in our wrestling room was repeat conference champs, NCAA Super Region champs, top 4 in the country. And those were our goals from Monday of last year. And so we've been very clear with that. And, you know, as the season kind of progressed and we started seeing the lineup that we could potentially have, we started thinking, man, maybe there's more than that. And so we've been intentional of what our goals are and very deliberate, and we're excited to, you know, compete with all these guys and everybody else this weekend.
We don't sit around and talk about winning national titles or team titles or individual titles. It's kind of, it's an unsaid thing in our room. I mean, you come to UCO to compete for titles, and and to be on good teams. And, like Steve said, we've got 38 guys in the room, and they're all a very important part of our program and our success. And like Nick said, you grow up wrestling, and these guys want to win, so we don't put any extra pressure on them at all. We haven't talked about winning a team title. We talk about effort and attitude, and if you have the right attitude and put forth the effort, everything else is going to work itself out. So our guys are here to wrestle hard and do what's best for themselves, and the team situation will take care of itself.
Yeah, after the regional tournament, there wasn't much said regarding the national tournament. It was just about getting those 6 qualifiers ready for the next event, and it's a collective effort. It's not just the 6 guys and 3 or 4 coaches. It's an entire room getting those 6 guys ready to compete. There's high expectations in our program each year, and I don't need to mention what those expectations are. Hopefully we've got the right individuals with the right mindset to want to achieve those things. So I know what they're thinking, they know what I'm thinking, and we just go about our business and try to get better each day and prepare for this the right way.
We really don't talk about it much. We kind of focus on the individual. Everybody takes care of what they can take care of, and hopefully things fall that way. I don't want, like I said, that pressure of it, and you don't start getting into a team race and worrying about bonus points or whatever. I don't like worrying about that. So we just always kind of focus on those individuals and take care of what you can take care of, and chips fall where they fall.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we're just 4 here, this year, but crazy things happen, right? I mean, that's why we wrestle. If we're just going to play a seed game, that we wouldn't need to be here. So that's what's great about this event. Everyone is within a margin of one another on any given day. And so you train hard, you train positive, you believe, you support, and you let the chips fall where they may after you give your best effort for 7, 8, 9 minutes, whatever it takes.
Anyone else with questions for our coaches?
I'd ask you guys this, in your experience as wrestlers, as younger men, and your relationships with your coaches, how is that different now as you relate to your student athletes? And what are those relationships like? How much more invested are you than previously were with you?
I was fortunate enough to wrestle for David James, who coached at Central Oklahoma for 37 years, I believe, and he was the best man at my wedding, actually, a long time ago. And I don't know, I'm proud about the relationships that our coaching staff has with our athletes, and the relationships that we have as a team and program. But I can't sit up here and say the guys we have now care more about me than I cared about David James, because I don't think that's true. I learned it from DJ, and I mean, you learn it as a kid growing up. Your coaches put a lot of time and effort into you. Building relationships is what it's all about, and so it's just something that I've been very fortunate to have in my life, are positive coaches and teammates, and it's just an important part of any solid program.
I think I'll echo what Todd said. I've been blessed with great coaches my whole life, high school and college, and the one thing I think that's a little bit different now is I feel like young people here are dealing with a little bit more than maybe what we had to deal with. So maybe being a little bit more sympathetic, having our doors open, having our cell phones on, and letting them know we're here more than just their coach. We're their fathers, we're their friends, we're their support system, especially when they don't have a lot of family close to where you're at. So really just being more than just a coach for them and building those relationships.
I was fortunate as a student athlete to have legendary coach Mike Denny as my coach, and still coaching at Maryville today. But he loved us, and everybody in our room knew that he cared about us. I don't really know any other way to go about our business other than that. So I try to emulate who he was, and I want our guys to know, each and every one of them, that I care about them, I love them, and I'm here for them. And I think that's all that matters. And if those guys believe and know that we care for them, I think they'll go a long ways for you. So, but yeah, I was just fortunate to have a great mentor.
Yeah, I mean, really same with me. I've had a lot of great coaches over the years, from youth all the way up until I was done competing. So I'm fortunate for that and all those experiences. And I just try to be a sponge and take a little bit from everyone, whether it's these guys up here, more coaches I've had throughout my life. But I guess I'm a little more in a unique position, just considering my age, right? I'm not old enough to be these guys' dads, and I don't try to be their dad. I just try to hold them accountable, right? Have that big brother role in their lives. And for example, like Shane Gantz, his true freshman year, we were teammates together. So I mean, that's a bond that we have a teammate bond, and now I guess coach to athlete bond. But it was one of my best friends, one of my best friends for life. So I'm just happy again with the position I'm in.
My college coaches were pretty rough on me. Military background, and not saying it was a bad experience, definitely close with them, and I love them a lot. But if you talk about the change, and kind of like what RC said, you have to be a lot more sympathetic. You have to be in the world itself. You do have to be able to be ready, be available to them, and help guide with that. I can't ever imagine if I called my coach, hey, I need it. He would have let me know how he felt. He was pretty rough. Coach Kerr at Bakersfield was a pretty rough guy. Like I said, I don't want to make it sound like it was bad. Loved the guy to death. We were close. And the one thing I valued when I was done was my relationship with him. When you get done, your relationship with him is way different than the day you walk through the door. And that's something I try and shoot for from the time the kid comes in as an 18-year-old kid to when they graduate. The relationship is way different. And that's something I try and shoot for. Same way Coach Kerr did with me, but there's a difference in the 90s till now that you have to be aware of.
Well, these guys said it all, really. I'm just trying to add to some of these comments already. The word family, the word culture, those are probably very real things that we try to make sure is truthful in our program, and not something that's just said, by others. And that was, I was blessed to grow up in Osage, Iowa, where that's what we did, is we wrestled, when you were little. I close my eyes, I see myself as a sixth grade kid, worshiping the high school wrestlers, that's what you wanted to be. So we hold ourselves very in high standards and accountable, to present, well role models and to be good people for the younger kids coming up through our program.
Anybody else for the coaches? All right, thanks very much, gentlemen. Thank you. Got a coaches meeting next door to get to. We appreciate
Ask us what animal?
No,